welcome to B4U Star Stop, and I miss meeting these guys. Yeah, it's been a while since I met them. Actually, it's been a year since Houseful 4 happened. Just a few days back it happened. So it literally has been a year since I've met them. How are you guys doing, Kriti and Pulkit? How are you?
What's up, Salil?
Very good, very good. Yeah, but it has been pretty much a year. You all have been in a house, and I'm super jealous. I hate you, Kriti. You cook so well. What do you cook? I mean, this is so. Who cooks then? Who always seems to have the perfect platter?
Oh, that is Pulkit. I mean, see, for me, I have to be very honest here. मैं थोड़ा बहुत काम कर लेती हूँ किचन में, लाइक मुझे अच्छा लगता है once in a while खाना खाना बनाना. But if there is a master chef at home, I would say Pulkit, क्योंकि he goes right from collecting the ingredients to seeing 1000 videos about how things have to be done to actually baking a bread, not being happy, baking another bread, not being happy, baking a third one in the same day, not being happy, and trying to achieve perfection, and then plating to mashallah hoti hai.
Yeah, listen, that's what I had to ask you. ये plating क्या होती है? Your presentation skills are so fabulous. मतलब taste अलग बात है. So Pulkit, what is this? Was this always you या ये newfound talent है?
Me, my entire खानदान, we are so fond of food ना. मतलब हम अगर समोसा भी खा रहे हैं ना, हमें प्यार से परोसा हुआ समोसा चाहिए और हम प्यार से परोसा हुआ समोसा ही खिलाएंगे लोगों को. That is very important. I don't know. It's just
नहीं, Pulkit, wanting to eat food.
both of us are on the same page.
No, but wanting to eat food और प्यार से खाना and इतने सजावट के साथ खिलाना, ये बहुत अलग चीज है यार. This talent is something else that you have, man. Is this a learned talent or is it just YouTube talent?
मतलब this is acquired talent only. YouTube से थोड़ा इधर उधर देखो, थोड़ा समझो, then try to gather those ingredients and try to figure out कि यार अच्छा ठीक है ऐसे करके देखते हैं. क्योंकि रेस्टोरेंट्स में तो जा नहीं पा रहे थे यार. तो घर में how to create a date का environment, how to create an environment जहाँ पे ऐसे लगे चलो
Pulkit's
हमें
ruined
अपने
restaurants for me.
से ब्रेक मिल गया और फिर हम डेट पे बैठे हैं तो हम अपनी बालकनी में छोटा सेटअप करके अच्छे से प्लेटिंग सब करके दो नींबू पानी के गिलास लेके हम लोग बैठ जाते थे.
नींबू पानी के glass. It's been a tough time.
धनिया जीरे का पानी, baby, not नींबू पानी. धनिया जीरे का पानी.
It's been a tough time, it becomes tougher for a lot of people also, especially in our, let's just say our entertainment industry is being hit the most. Although there will be a lot of churning out, चाहे फिल्में हो, चाहे OTT platforms पर आए, but still, the level of insecurity sometimes can lead to people signing too many things quickly, or sort of questioning कि मैंने जो उस समय किया था जल्दी जल्दी अब release करवा दो. That kind of anxiety that can happen to an actor. Pulkit looks like Buddha Baba right now, very calm, chilled out like that, which is kind of great. But otherwise, Kriti, is there any kind of zone where thoda sa anxiousness aaya hai for actors and for you guys as well?
I think my only anxiety was I want to get back to work. I think sitting at home, for actors, work from home ka concept does not really exist. Whatever you do from home is you working on your craft or you working on something that might happen. Yeah. Or like, for example, Chauda Feri is something that I signed before the pandemic. So through the pandemic, I worked on the script. I've had my workshops with the director and all of that. While all of that is great, the honest truth is I miss being on a film set. Yes. I miss it is more that anxiety कि आपको नहीं पता कि आपका काम अगली बार कब शुरू होगा और शुरू होगा तो will it be safe, will it be comfortable, will it be easy. As desperate as I am to go back to work and I start shooting in under 10 days, I know that my parents are extremely paranoid कि सब ठीक होगा कि नहीं होगा. And I think it's the first time in my life I'm feeling a little helpless क्योंकि it's not just about you taking care of yourself. You're so interdependent in this pandemic. It's about the other person treating their body like a temple and treating their life like it's precious. The fact that we still have to like ढिंडोरा मार मार के पीट पीट के बोलना पड़ रहा है कि मास्क पहन लो भाई, हाथ धो लो, अभी तक बोलना पड़ रहा है. तो आई थिंक दैट इज द मोस्ट स्कैरी पार्ट ऑफ इट, दैट पीपल आर नॉट अंडरस्टैंडिंग द सीरियसनेस ऑफ द सिचुएशन.
But that's the beauty of also sitting at home and coming back to reality with a kick-ass trailer, man. So congratulations on that. I'm a huge fan of Bijoy Nambiar. My friends were in Shaitan. Then, yeah, man. Then he made, I remember him making David also, and I was shocked by the diversity in the roles that he managed to create. I remember telling Neil, Nitin, Mukesh, कि ब्रदर तुम्हारे डायलॉग भी नहीं थे फिर भी इतना कमाल का परफॉर्मेंस था, यू नो. एंड बिजॉय हैज दैट, यू नो, ही इज वन ऑफ दोस डायरेक्टर्स दैट इज देयर ऑन योर लिस्ट.
Have you watched Solo?
No, I haven't seen Solo.
Matlab, please watch Solo. One actor, one director, 4 short films, and everything else changes all through the films. And it is only one expression, which is rage. Uh, how does rage, in 4 different situations, same actor, same director, all the entire rest of the cast and the setting changes, the story also changes. But
Wow.
only 4 shades of anger is there in that.
His thinking only I find so interesting. You know, even the trailer, normally you'll find trailers where you'll say कि मुझे basically समझ में आ गया पिक्चर में है क्या. You know, so I'll just see an extended version of this in the cinema. But Taish के साथ ऐसा नहीं है. You're not sure. And with all his films, it's like that. That's what I really like. So let's just have a Bijoy Nambiar appreciation chat first. First, with you, Kriti. Go ahead, Pulkit, first you.
Why? Because I'll forget my point. Sorry, 1 second, huh? Then you talk, okay?
Yeah.
Kriti. So you know what Bijoy does is he keeps the characters very human, in the sense he maintains the complexities, he keeps the grays in the characters. He does not believe in a white and a black, which is what life is about. Life has its grays and mixes, mix of colors. It's got that shade. हम सब में होते हैं ग्रेज. हम सब सिर्फ ऐसा तो नहीं है अरे ये सबसे अच्छा इंसान, ये सबसे बुरा इंसान. ऐसा नहीं होता है. That is why we relate also to his characters so much, because he ends up keeping them very human.
Kriti, you and your Bijoy appreciation.
Oh, I have been, when Tesh happened to me, Bijoy and I were in a lift, okay? And he congratulated me on Karwa. We used to stay in the same building. And he congratulated me on Karma. And he said, you were really good in it. So I was like, thank you. And for me, Karma was very surprising in terms of people actually calling out and reaching out to me and saying something nice for a 10-minute role. You know, you always wonder. Anyway, so Bijoy tells me in the lift, did you know that I recommended your name for the film? I was like, what? So he's saying, Akash is a friend of mine, and I think I always thought he had a lot of promise. So I recommended your name. It was great that you said yes. So I said, Bijoy, I mean, thank you so much. But I mean, here, if you're doing this, then I might as well tell you that I really want to work with you. So, so he looked at me and he said, come on, you're just being nice. I said, no, I'm serious. I want to work with you. So he said, I never thought you'd be interested in doing a film like the kind of cinema I make.
Yeah.
So I said, why? What do you think of me? And he just started laughing. He never answered that question. Huh? Till today, he's not answered that question. So anyway, he changed the topic and he's like, okay, all right, I'm working on something and we'll connect soon.
Okay, so I want to answer that question before you tell me what Bijoy said. You are very, people would assume very commercial, will do the very bright colored films, will do only things like that. They might not even remember that you've done a Vikram Bhatt film years back. They won't, you know, for them it's the last year, अच्छा हाउसफुल में देखा है, फिर वो राजकुमार के साथ देखा था. So their assumption that. Plus, also, you're very pretty, as we all know. So as a result, they would say she might want to use that to her advantage, and that I think goes against a lot of actresses that look good. You know, these darker films, and you know, with a very psychotic background to it, they might assume that ये interested नहीं होगी इसमें because her primary asset they might not want to use. It's not one of those banduks that they want to use. So maybe because of that.
Probably. I mean, I really don't know what reason I've given people to believe that I'm not interested. I am very, very interested. From day one, I've actually maintained. People have asked me who are the directors I want to work with, and Sriram Raghavan sir and Bijoy Nambiar have been two people who have always been on my list. Of course, there are many more. But they are, a lot of times people ask you what are the kind of films you want to do, and I am mesmerized by an Ek Hasina Thi, where Urmila ma'am, I mean, for me, you know what, that was a very big inspiration because she's the same woman who did a Rangila, which was extremely commercial. And then she went on to do an Ek Hasina Thi and maintain. I mean, she didn't give a damn about the world, and she did what her heart asked her to. And then there was a director who found and who believed that she had a side of her acting to showcase that people had not tapped into just yet. And I think somewhere deep down, I was hoping that one such opportunity would come to me. And I'm so glad that I ran into Bijoy in that lift. And I'm so glad that I had it in me to tell him that I want to work with him, because otherwise, I don't know if Bijoy would have ever offered me Taish. Very honest.
But did he do a lot of look tests with you or stuff like that to sort of see that I want to see Kriti in the way that I think that she should be? You know, to break the No?
Bijoy met me again in the same building by the swimming pool and said, "Let's do this. I'll give you a narration."
Yeah.
So I said, "Ha, theek hai." And he didn't tell me which character he was narrating to me. I didn't know who were the other actors in the film at the time. And he just narrated the script to me, and I loved that world that he had painted around me, and I was so desperate to be a part of this journey that I don't think I even paid attention कि role क्या था या क्या scene है या क्या था. The overall story appealed to me so much. So I said, okay, what do you want me to play? So he smiled and said, Arfa Khan. So I said, okay, I was completely floored. But at the same time, I was shooting Pagalpanti and Houseful simultaneously, and dates were becoming an issue because Bijoy wanted to start and finish his film at the same time, and like in one schedule.
Yeah.
And I had Pagalpanti running simultaneously, and I had Houseful, and both the films, the release had been announced, so I had to finish those films. So I went home, I put in two chits. One said yes, one said no, and when I picked up the chit, I knew what I wanted to do, so I didn't read what was on it. And I was like, it's okay. It's going to mean that there's going to be a lot more mehnat, and you're going to have a lot of sleepless nights, and you're going to miss out on some opportunities in the bargain, but let's just do this. And then I said yes to Bijoy. And 2 days later, when my paperwork was done, I went and told my very sweet boyfriend that I'm doing this film, only to hear that he was also doing it.
Really? So y'all don't like discuss even when you're having like that's fine. Y'all don't even discuss like when y'all get like a narration. Listen, he's giving me an awesome narration. I think I should no until you sign it, you don't talk about work.
I mean, that totally depends. Like, discussing a narration is a very different thing, It's so funny when I told him, I met Bijoy today for a narration. Even Pulkit said, Acha, kaisi thi script? He didn't tell me he's met Bijoy for the same film. This is the same narration, nothing. So he said, what did you think of it? I was like, I think it's fantastic. And he's like, so what have you decided? I said, abhi samajh nahi aa raha yaar. Dates ka bahut issue ho raha hai, and I don't know how I'm going to manage this.
Yeah.
And yeah, when Pulkit, like, for me, even when Pulkit signed Pagalpanti, I didn't know he was doing Pagalpanti till he signed Pagalpanti, came home and told me. I didn't know up
I like this relationship of yours. There's a lot that y'all keep to yourselves, which is the secret to long-lasting and everlasting friendships, rather than the love. We'll take a little break and come right back. They just a study and contrast the two of them. Pulkit sits back like this. Kriti's up in front of the screen. So much in body language that is you can sort of like sit and study. We'll come right back. Don't go anywhere. You're back on Star Storm with me, Salil, and Kriti Kharbanda and Pulkit Samrat. The reason why I like the two of them so much is because A, they're just so similar to the way they've always been. I mean, the two of you, thanks again for joining me on the show. You haven't changed at all, and I have to say, Pulkit, this I think is that one big, crazy, different light that I wanted to see you in, as an actor, as a performer. Kriti, as we've already seen, was misjudged by Bijoy also, and he's offered us something. This is looking fantastic. But you must be really excited with this also. It's a real crazy, messed up film which just gives you so much scope to perform.
It is one of those sets where you actually sit back and watch every person perform, and no one has to say silence, keep quiet, because everyone's genuinely interested in knowing what this character is going to do now. Because just like us, nobody else on set knew what was going to happen. Pulkit, I think, had a bigger. Pulkit used to sit and notice Bijoy and not the other actors. Pulkit used to. I feel like Pulkit can play a very good Bijoy in his neck.
Really, Pulkit?
Yeah, I anyways love what happens, whatever goes on in the video village and whatever happens. कैसे ये shot figure out कैसे किया है, ये कैसे दिमाग लगा है. मैं गया इस सेट पे इसलिए था यार कि बिजॉय नामवियर के मैं दिमाग में घुसना है मेरे को समझना है how does this person work, what is his plan of action on the set. So he sits down with this इतनी छोटी सी एक नोटबुक है. ठीक है, वो खुद ही स्टेपल करी हुई है. जैसे हम स्कूल में जब एक्स्ट्रा बुक्स बनानी होती थी तो हम बचे हुए पेपर्स को स्टेपल करके बनाते थे, वैसे इतनी मोटी सी और इतनी छोटी सी वो नोटपैड लेके ही कीप सिटिंग.
तो लोगों के नोट्स हैं उसमें या सीन्स के नोट्स हैं?
नहीं, उसमें 6 एडीज हैं पीछे यही काम करने के लिए. सबके पास प्रॉपर फॉर्म्स हैं कि अच्छा ये वाले मार्कर पे ये स्टेप है, ये वाले मार्कर पे दिस इज ओके शॉट, दिस इज नॉट ओके शॉट. बट ही टेक्स हिज ओन नोट्स डाउन कि ये है ऐसे ऐसे है, पुलकित ने यहाँ पे कर दिया है, तुम इसको एडिट से बाहर करना है. इधर इधर ये है, कृति बहुत सुंदर लग रही है तो इसको एक्स्ट्रा रखना है. सो ऑल दोस नोट्स ही इज टेकिंग हिमसेल्फ, ही नोज व्हाट ही इज गोना वर्क ऑन. Later on, he is a one-man team.
Is he a control freak?
Yes, he is a control freak, but as much as he's a control freak, which is what I expected कि यार set पे जाऊंगा तो बिल्कुल भी freedom नहीं मिलेगा. Will I be able to ask him questions about things? और फिर मैं stupid तो नहीं लगूंगा talking to him कि यार हम ना कुछ ऐसा try करते हैं, just out of the box kind of a thing, ऐसा ऐसा. But luckily both of us are equally crackpots when it comes to being passionate about films, and we were all the entire team was on the same page. So it was a lot of give and take happening on the set as well. Even before we went to the set, we did an exercise where all of us exchanged our characters and performed, with each other our own scenes. So that helped us explore so much about our own characters कि यार ये तूने अच्छा पकड़ लिया यार, ये कैसे किया, ठीक है, मैंने क्यों नहीं सोचा यार ये मेरे कैरेक्टर के बारे में. एंड सिमिलरली द अदर पर्सन आल्सो कि यार ये बड़ा अच्छा पकड़ा तूने यार. एंड रिगार्डलेस ऑफ genders, like I could be playing a female character, somebody else would be playing a, but we are keeping the essence of the character alive and just playing around with the scene. So it has been a very enriching and learning experience for me.
And I like
इसलिए
the
मैं पूरा टाइम बिजॉय को देखता रहता था कि यार अब क्या कर रहा है बंदा.
But I like the mix of the casting also. It's a very interesting mix to see Jim there, who's sort of developed a very niche for himself in the last 2-3 years. Harshvardhan, I mean, Pulkit and Harshvardhan I've known for more than 10, 15, 10 years plus, yeah. And it's so good to see. Harshu to हमारे gym में होता था. And he's always a gym boy, did very well for himself. But the opportunities that sometimes come your way, and the choices that you make, it's sometimes these big actors that are the big tick, or these big directors, big tick marks in your books. So your chemistry with Jim is a very interesting guy. I mean, even when I see him doing some ads right now, he just looks like a really interesting guy जो बहुत अलग किस्म का लड़का है. Isn't that true? Or is it not?
That was definitely one of the criteria to work with this team कि यार इतनी प्यारी टीम साथ में आ रही है, everybody is so talented. Jim is coming from a very different school of acting. Harsh is coming from a very different background. Sanjida approaches her characters very differently. This is her debut, so her energy is on some other level. Her dedication is on some other level. एंड यू ऑल्सो वांट टू रेप्लिकेट द सेम डेडिकेशन, क्योंकि आपको याद आता है यार आपने भी तो फर्स्ट टाइम जब काम किया था ऐसे एक्साइटेड थे. आज क्यों एक्साइटमेंट कम लग रही है आपकी, क्योंकि आप कॉन्फिडेंस आ गया, चल साले लग काम पे. सो everybody was so inspiring in their own ways. Even since she's sitting, तो मैं बोल देता हूँ, but I'm very
तू
fond
ना
of the way
भाग.
she works. you know I'm very fond of the way she works. So I was very excited. ये साथ में है तो अच्छी बात है, but personal agenda side में रख के, I'm very excited. I was very excited about the fact that we are again gonna collaborate as colleagues, because that is how we started at the first place. And I really respect her body of work. तो मजा आता है काम करने में. She's a very natural, spontaneous actor. I am similar in that sense. तो मुझे साथ में scenes करने में मजा आता है. वैसे Jim brings his own, the charm to the character and to the scene. And yeah, it's
Can you all get close and criticize each other as well? Do you have like a session? I didn't like what you did there. Honest chats. There's always this big question: can couples actually be part of the same setup and be, unbiased about each other's performances?
बट हम वही करते हैं. मतलब जितना मैं अपने कलीग्स को बोलूंगा उतना ही मैं इसको बोलता हूँ सेट पे, और जितना आई थिंक वाइस वर्सा आल्सो से.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I think the idea is, see, when you're in a relationship, if you don't have the comfort to point out your partner's flaws or mistakes, then please leave that relationship and walk out the door, because it will not last. It is very, very important. See, when it's also very important to appreciate what your partner does when they're doing it right. Like, I still remember there was this one scene we were shooting for Taish, which is in Pulkit's sister's house in the movie, and Pulkit had about maybe 3 lines to say in the entire scene, but his body language and honestly, that is the day I remember I got up and Joy said cut, and we packed up and everything, and we were driving back, and I looked at him and I said, "You floored me today." Like, to be very honest, uh, I didn't ever think that this character would fascinate Pulkit the way it did. Like, I have always, like you said, people have this perception of you that you may not be interested in something different from what you're already doing because you're so much into that commercial space. But for me personally, I have seen that journey now, right from being a fukre boy to being Sunny and Tesh, which are poles apart and probably belong to two different universes, if that's a word. like they belong to different time zones, they belong to different everything. But I felt so proud when I saw him perform that scene, and now when I see the trailer, I feel so proud by what everyone is saying about him. Like it really makes me happy. I'm very proud of the fact that he's actually outlived my expectations also, to be very honest. He's done me so proud. He's made me so proud with Tesh,
And
and
run away
I
from the
just
screen that you
love
said.
that. I don't know.
Oh yeah, how sweet, yeah, how sweet, yeah. She's so sweet. Yeah.
You know, y'all are setting some major goals, man. Y'all are setting some major goals. I have to say this, there's this narmi, as they say between the two of you, which is so lovely to see, and it can go, especially with two people in the limelight and two people, in the same profession. That hasn't gone, though. I think that this beard suits Pulkit more. He looks a little older now with this. I like this beard look of his.
He's just trying this look till Tesh promotions get over, because now he needs to get into Fukre zone, and this is not a look and angry young man thing. He's just lazy. He does
This is lazy young man.
Yeah,
lazy young man.
this is a very good.
Sometimes mutual admiration societies can be very hanikarak. This is not that case. I think it's really looking fantastic. Though I'm still trying to figure out what all there is going to be in this film. Now that you've seen your own performances, could you say for yourself, Pulkit, that she says you've outlived her expectations? Do you think so for yourself as well?
Yeah, I always wanted to play a character like this, where I get a chance to be a part of a thriller, a revenge drama. You see yourself शीशे के सामने खड़े होके तो आपने बहुत कुछ किया है. मतलब बॉम्बे आने से पहले मैं कितना कुछ करता था शीशे के सामने. I would try to play a thriller also. I would try to play horror as well. I would try to be comical as well. Everything. So धीरे धीरे करके I'm trying to get my hands on things that are being offered to me, and I feel कि uh, if not this film, but I feel कि मैंने जितना भी काम अभी तक किया है, that has been good, to the extent that at least Bijoy Nambiar came forward and offered
Yeah.
me a role in his film. So
Yeah.
I must have done something good in my career so far, that he had belief in me and faith कि भैया तू संभाल लेगा सनी का कैरेक्टर.
और तुम ना तो लिफ्ट में मिले उससे, ना तुम स्विमिंग पूल में थे. सो ये पार्ट भी है ना, यू आर नॉट इन द लिफ्ट और इन द स्विमिंग पूल यार. तो ये तो प्योरली ऐसा था कि टैलेंट.
ऐसा नहीं था कि यार बिजॉय कहाँ जा रहा है, अभी लिफ्ट में जा रहा है, मैं वहां जाता हूँ. अभी किधर पूल के पास जा रहा है, मैं वहां चला जाता हूँ, चलो.
But Kriti, this story is going to make a lot of people want to shift into that building where Bijoy is. If he's really so good in being able to provide auditions and...
She's moved out of that building now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'm not there anymore.
No, but I'm telling the rest of them, we'll tell them what the building name is.
To Imtiaz's film, Imtiaz's building.
Oh, so that's your modus operandi.
Imtiaz sir doesn't stay there. Raju sir stays there. Okay, आपके मुंह में घी शक्कर. Next I will bump into Imtiaz.
So,
लिफ्ट ऊपर नीचे, just keep going up and down in the lift. कोई ना कोई तो नीचे आएगा यार, कोई ना कोई तो ऊपर जाएगा. Guys, thank you so much. It really was fantastic to speak to you guys, and I hate doing this via the internet and the TV. I hope to see you all soon, because not me, seeing you all, giving you all a nice hug and a bit of a fist pump, no fun, man. Love these human interactions that happen nowadays. I mean, even though I'm not being able to meet them, and it's been awesome just to connect with them online. But I was just discussing with my cameraman, my producer, how we've sort of realized that without the entire makeup artist and hairstylist and boy and all that, there's just some lovely emotions there. So it's beautiful how Pulkit just jumped across to the other room and went and hugged Kriti. I'll see you again soon on Star Stop. Take care. Bye-bye.